Let's start. Good evening, everyone. Me and my team will be presenting the new business idea, which will surely disrupt the luxury fabric industry. Next slide. Starting off with the agenda, we'll talk about the entirety of the team, the sources of the fabric, the concept of eco-fabric, the market trends, finally ending with monetization and technology. Next slide, please. So there are three of us, starting with Ian Anderson, James Lee, and Vishesh Pathak. Next slide. Let's talk about the sources of raw animal hair and other entire entities that can be utilized to make clothes and fabrics. Around 24% of the vertebrate species are traded globally. That's about 7,638 species. Young, impressionable millennials and Gen Z, who are fabric nerds, are very interested in the fact that where the item is coming from. Next slide. Concept of ecofabric. Ecofabric is basically a platform on the blockchain to ensure the ethical sourcing of the raw fiber animal hair for commercial use. Animals are also microchipped for tracking purposes and to ensure the safety. This data is stored on the blockchain infrastructure and can be accessed by the individual who's purchasing the item to make sure that the item that they're utilizing on a daily basis is ethically sourced. Now I'll be handing over the presentation to my colleague.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. So now we're going to look at the market, and this mostly pertains to high-end fashion companies such as Louis Vuitton. These companies tend to want to be able to tell customers where they're getting their materials and that they're ethically sourced, because a lot of their consumers care deeply about this. As you see in the chart below, there is a 3% increase from 2022 to 2027 that is projected. So there definitely is going to be a suitable market for this type of product. Next slide, please. So we have priced our product EcoFabric at $200 a year for private use, $2,000 a year for private use. That's supposed to be 2,000, and $10,000 for commercial use. Commercial use has a higher cost because validating information on the blockchain is expensive and requires vast amounts of energy. So the more that it's used, the more that fabrics are tracked using this technology, the more computing power that will be required in order to give customers their results. I believe that people will pay this amount of money to use our technology because the ethicality of fabrics is very important to consumers that are buying this expensive clothing. And additionally, it's also super bad publicity for companies to sell goods that derive from illegal activities such as poaching. Next slide, please. And then when we look at global trends in the clothing industry, it is a fairly big market, and fashion and takes up 31%. Leather goods take up about 21%, and these are both markets that could possibly derive their products from legal activities. So there definitely is a need here to make sure that these products are ethically sourced. Next slide. I'll hand it off to James.
So this is our basic database and AWS blockchain infrastructure where our application data or transactions will be fed into the Amazon Quantum Ledger database. And then that information will be appended to the blockchain where any changes into the blockchain will be cryptographically verified. And then that information will be accessible to the users that purchase our product. For our startup cost, we use Amazon Managed Blockchain, which has a monthly cost of $907. If we run that for 12 months, that puts us at $10,884. And then we use ProvenDB, which has a monthly cost of $150. And running that for 12 months will give us $1,800, which totals us to $12,684 for our operation costs. Then that concludes our presentation, and thank you for listening.
Thank you so much.